Thank you for joining tonight, and let me take off the audio and let me introduce the topic tonight. No time. I'm so sorry we are so many minutes behind schedule, and then we're starting so late tonight. But let me begin by announcing that we have one of the presidential aspirants joining us live tonight to discuss the outcome of PACT and why he put out of the arrangements prior to the consensus determining meeting. And then, but before then, I want to begin by saying that all of you are already aware of the decision of the Pact that threw Fela Durotoye up as the consensus candidate yesterday. While Fela Durotoye is still jubilating and already setting, is using the result of the Pact decision to work in his own party in the ANN to become, to be adopted as the flag bearer of the party ANN. Kingsley Moghalu, who was supposed, as expected, to drop his own ambition and therefore support Fela Durotoye after determination of consensus at Pact. However, announced that it was going to go ahead regardless. So a lot of people have been giving reactions, while some are supporting Moghalu for continuing regardless, because most of them believe that Moghalu is stronger and is bigger as a fish and ought not to have even subjected himself in the first place to such a small pond, being a big fish himself. Others are of the opinion that he would, if he was somebody that has out of integrity, at least continue to stay by his word to continue to support Durotoye and drop his own ambition if he was truly selfless. Well, these mixed reactions regardless, we have so many people also reacting. Earlier today, we also saw a female presidential aspirant who was also the flag bearer on the platform of NIP, that is National Interest Party, Mrs. Eunice Atuejide, already said that she supports the decision of the party even though she wasn't in it, and then she went ahead to condemn the rejection of the results and refusal to submit his own ambition to support Fela Durotoye. I mean, Eunice Atuejide condemned Kingsley Moghalu for continuing despite signing bond to accept the result or outcome of the Pact. Similarly, Eunice Atuejide also condemned Omoyele Sowore by saying that these are people who have personal ambitions who cannot sacrifice for the country, and that mere pulling out of Pact or rejecting or staying till the end of Pact and rejecting the outcome is not enough and does not portray them well. Well, whether this is right or not is not even in my own position to also determine. But as I speak with you right now, I have one of the presidential aspirants who was part of Pact from the beginning but pulled out before the end of it. And that is, but before I reveal who the guest is online today, I want to say that Pact gave opportunity for people to opt out. I mean, while so many aspirants saw something that they felt wasn't cool enough in the arrangement or process of Pact and they pulled out, I mean, Kingsley Moghalu decided to stay till the end. Perhaps he was expecting to emerge the consensus, but it turned the other way. Well, whatever the case is, we have one of those that pulled out at the early stage. Whatever his reason, I don't know, but I have him here tonight, and I am talking about the chairman and also presidential aspirant on the platform of ANRP. ANRP means Abundant Nigeria Renewal Party, in the person of Mr. Tokunbo Fasua. Mr. Tokunbo Fasua, you're welcome on the show tonight, and I'm happy to have you.
Hi, Segun, how are you doing? Well, thanks for inviting me. It's good to be here.
I'm very good, and thank you for honoring the invitation to join us on the show tonight. We want to begin by asking, what is your impression of the outcome of Pact? If you remained till the end, would the current result of Fela Durotoye have also been your own choice too?
Well, I don't think I want to comment on that, but that's why I did not remain till the end. Because well, it's a big risk for anyone to remain to the end, because then you'll be affair went. It seemed like people were being railroaded. Nigeria should actually work very quick now about the now mentality. Who says that we must actually produce a result immediately? This is just August, where voting is in February, and like they say in politics, according to Harold Wilson, that a week is a long time in politics. In fact, it's a long time in politics. Why would anyone say, I mean, something that started in July, the meetings that started in July should be concluded in August. To choose, I mean, people are not serious, except said they want to be president, plans for the country, except they had no idea, except it was just a joke, it was just unity they were looking for. That's the reason why you can conclude that thing in 1 month. You can't conclude in 1 month. People should be very, very reasonable for what we're saying, except they think that we were kidding, and that those of us who have said we can run this country better and we have agenda for this country, who have sat together things together for the betterment of this country, except someone thinks that it's a joke. No one has a right to truncate whatever. When they started the Pact thing, we went there to see what it was like. Showore was equally there. He probably saw, I don't know what he saw, private information. So he attended only one meeting. I attended 2 meetings. And these guys were saying that, in 1 or 2 more meetings, they were going to determine who was what. I was like, no, I'm not going to be part of that. I'm not going to be part of that, So, and I said to them, listen, this is something you should stretch it. We should organize it. I'm very clear. I wrote an article today which details everything we discussed. I said, number one, expand this group. You cannot be talking as at that time we were 14. At the end of the day, how many people voted for Kingsley and Fela? 7 people. How can you have 7 votes in something that concerns the whole nation? Look, Nigerian young people should really get serious. Many of us have seen a few comments saying all sorts of things, but we know that we have a serious issue on hand. We cannot treat this problem in a cavalier manner. We can't treat it as if just a walk in the park, some play of football or something. No, it's much more complicated than that.
You used some phrases there. Some play in the park or park. Is that what you call Pact? Is that your description of Pact?
Well, I don't know. No, I'm not. No. What I mean by that is that the expectation of Nigerians themselves. What pushed? Okay, part of the rhetoric that pushed Pact to get to this point, where we're saying that we started meetings on the 31st of July, and less than a month after, we were already determining who was what, right? Is because a lot of Nigerians were also pushing, where's the name? Give us one name. Give us one. Look, you cannot have a perennial problem, a dying, dead country on your hand, a country that is in coma, that needs defibrillators for someone to get that country.
Hello, I guess your network is, but I can see you again. Go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
Yeah, you cannot have such a bad situation in the country, and then you say, and the youth of the country are coming together, and you want it now. You want them to determine now. However, those guys who were driving the Pact thing, who we honored them and went for their meeting, we didn't know what agenda they were planning and whatever. But those guys, also they were not too eager to listen to any opinions per se. So it was basically a scenario of being railroaded into what was looking like a predetermined decision. Unfortunately for Kingsley, still probably it was egged on. It was egged on. Some sources told me that it was probably promised by some of the guys there that it was going to be the one, only for them to turn against him and stab him behind the back.
As it stands right now, what do you think Kingsley Moghalu's rejection of, I mean, not rejection now, pulling out after the results didn't favor him? What do you think this will mean for his ambition or aspiration altogether?
Well, you know, in politics, you have to expect some rough patches, right? You know, someone like me, I started out by convening a political party. Fourier had already stepped out before forming his party, but I started out as at that time. I was actually a pioneer because in my era, that's about 2 years ago, nobody was actually thinking about this per se. I'm talking of October, November 2016. Young people like me weren't thinking of forming parties. It took us 1 year for us to get this license. Some people may get it. We play this straight, bribe anyone and all of that. We got this license after 1 year. Yeah, but for me, because I mean, you know, I started since that time. I've seen the beat, you know. So Kingsley is going to go through his rough patch right now. He's going to have it's going to have a lot of people coming after and saying all sorts of things, and he has to. For me, I think he has to weather the storm because that processing. When we started, I suggested 5 things for them to do. Number one, expand that group. Expand group. That there were more about 70 playing on the field, aspiring to become different things. You cannot decide when we were then like 14 people. Number one, expand that group. Number two, take this thing public. All right, all our meetings will be seen by people. I said, listen, even if we have to do things like Facebook Live, or, let people our meetings and have vying. Number said, we have to organize it, right? Organize debates. If you make this debate open, pair people up, 2-2, and have this own debates and so on. Number 4, I said you have to leave it open for people to opt out up to a certain point of time, up to a certain period of time. But for me, by organizing the debate, you would have stretched this thing out for a considerable period of time. There's nothing wrong in doing this thing over 3 months, and then people would have got their ideas in, so at least people who have ideas would have thrown it in. Some people don't have ideas. Some people have ideas, they don't want to even make it public. So when you have an idea about how Nigeria can be better and you're making it public, that means that you're only right, So and I said the 5th, where necessary, let's have an election before an election. Let Nigerians be the one voting for who will be there. These guys kept insisting it was good on us. Among how many people? My own experience as an economic statistician tells me that when you have like 7, 8, 9 people, it's going to be very easy to swing the vote on behalf of, to one side. And I didn't see there being any fairness. It was never going to be fair. And exactly what I predicted is what happened. 3 of the guys who were there in that group of 7 are from ANN. They can as well have had a very good discussion with themselves, and then they go and do what they did. And unfortunately, Kingsley was the one that got his nose bruised. So anyway, it's left to him how he's going to deal with it. But I don't think that process was at all. I think the process was fraught with a lot of shenanigans, and it is not representative, or it does not approximate the desires of the Nigerian people.
That's that's exactly what many people have been saying, actually, that this small circle of people cannot decide for 180 million people, right? But then, having said this, what is the way forward from here? I mean, Moghalu wants to continue regardless, but I'm also still interested in knowing what your opinion is. If you had remained in Pact, would you have voted? No, because I learned that the process is that if not you, who else do you think? I just want to know, if you had remained till the end, whether you would have added to the vote of Fela or you would have made it a tie for Moghalu. That's it.
I don't know why. Well, number one is, okay, let me just say that clearly. Look, I'm too intelligent. I'm sorry. I'm too intelligent to have remained in such a thing. You understand what I'm saying? Again, I told them, I said, look, if we don't make this thing 40 parties, and I gave them some names of people to invite. Some of them were invited. However, they probably, I don't know what they saw, they left. Someone like Ali, I never even met that guy before. I just saw a video, I saw it was very strong. I said, look, we cannot be, look, it's a joke. You don't understand what I'm saying. 70 people or more are contesting or aspiring, who are young people. 10 of you go to one place and you say that you are going on behalf of whatever. No matter what you bring, there's 60 other people who are still going to contest. So what's the point of this one? Look, Nigerians, they are looking for razzmatazz, right? This is not meant to be Big Brother or something. If you're looking for razzmatazz, maybe the ones people know she already know Durotoye, Moghalu. But what about the ones you don't know? You don't believe that you have to look for those ones you don't know. You have to look for those you don't know. You have to, because look, many times that thing which seems obvious, there's no way there. That thing which looks obvious, no way there. However, if I must answer your question, I personally believe that Moghalu is a stronger person, in terms of economics, in terms of maybe running the economy, in terms of international relations. He had worked in United Nations and so on. I think, again, he has a bit of age on his side, which may mean that he's a bit more mature than some of us and so on. Yeah, I could have swayed on the side of Moghalu without prejudice to Fela himself. But this is not meant to just be a mere popularity contest. It's not just a mere popularity contest. The point is this: Nigerians should be asking, what are these people bringing to the table? No Nigerian, none of these youths in Nigeria are asking, what are the agenda that these guys? We should be voting on the basis of agenda to say, what do you have to offer to Nigeria? Not a case of, okay, 3, 4, 7 people vote, and then you think it should be binding. It was never going to work. It's a case of being blindsided. In my view. Again, let me say this. If I wasn't voting for myself, yes, maybe I'd have voted for Moghalu. But however, given all the things that I've said they should do that they did not do in the group, and I felt, look, this was going to skew. I don't know if many of them. I'm an econometrician, right? So when you talk about a small sample size, a small sample size has a lot of problems. You're going to probably have a lot of skew in a small sample size. A small sample size does not determine that you cannot use it to determine a large population. No, it's not going to work. You know what I mean? So there are many people whose heroes are not in that group, who were not invited into the group in the first place. So those people are not even bound by this decision, whether even if nobody was complaining, they weren't bound by this decision. So I mean, I don't want a scenario, and the same Nigerian use, oh, you guys should go and, though you guys should meet. Oh, we would like to have one person. And so all of us were obliged in the beginning, including Shore, all of us were obliged to go and see what this was. But a few people were the ones who were convening it. They probably had their own discussion before. And then we went there. But, it was very quickly that we saw that, look, okay, our ideas were not going to even be taken on board. If you're joining a group and your ideas were not taken on board, look, let us stretch this thing. Let us let people know what we have to offer. And so when they say, no, we have to determine next week. Okay, next week, what are you going to do determining next week? I wrote articles about this and I told them, the guys, this thing, in fact, it is not now that we should separate one person to start running. 2 things. If you separate them to start running now, and we have one, for example, you have a Fela now, it's going to be very easy for the predators to take this guy down, because you have said, okay, one person they're going to hack him down. There are many ways of hacking people down. They can bring information out. They can put the SSS on you. They can do whatever. That's one. The second thing is that there's no way, I've seen it in politics very clearly. People will not support that guy financially from among the group who have dropped out. They will not put their money behind Fela. They'll be like, well, they're no longer, what's the point? And a few of the guys who orchestrated this thing that happened, they were saying that they did not want to spend money. They didn't want to go to their party to spend nomination form. I told them, look, someone like me, I formed a political party. I put my money behind that political party. I'm not talking about nomination for my nomination form. You don't want to spend nomination form for Nigeria. And in fact, we told them that, look, you should go to your parties and get your party nomination. I mean, we're talking of a bunch of aspirants, many of whom didn't even know which party they belong to or were not reckoned with in their parties. So if you're not reckoned with in your party, what are you bringing? What are you selling? You're not selling anything. For example, the three guys that came from ANN, there were two other or three other aspirants in ANN. And then we said that, look, if you got this, even if you won, okay, your guys in ANN will not step down for you. And if you did not win, you cannot go and tell those guys who are contesting in ANN that they should drop off. Say, look, from a strategy point of view, we have shown so much naivety. Not only that group called Pact, but the entire Nigerian youth, so young people, have shown extreme levels of naivety. We can't think through processes, level 1, level 2, level 3, 4. This is a chess game. You just said, you have a bunch of particular party, let's say ANRP. Let's say like 3 of us from ANRP went there, and there are 3 more people in ANRP still contesting. If one of us won, we're from ANRP, if one of us won, we cannot tell the other 3 people we left in ANRP not to contest because it is not binding on them. If all of us lose, we cannot tell those in NRP to drop out because we have lost. They will still contest. We have only killed our own ambition. So why would we kill our own ambition? Non-starters. You make yourself into a non-starter. For what? When other people are still contesting. As a matter of fact, there's a way that this Pact group, even if a lot of people had gone there and they had rushed the decision and all of that, you would have just ended up killing the ambition of many young people. And then you now have a scenario where the articles are still in play, the Sarakis are still coming up, and then the old people will be there contesting. How so naive, how so awfully naive. It's unbelievable how that the Nigerian young people can, we are finding it so difficult to reason through processes. This is a political chess game. It's terrible. I must tell you, it's absolutely terrible.
All right, thank you so much. We have some comments from the live chat, and I want to display so that you can also react to them. Let me quickly zoom to it, and let me let you also see. I want to scroll to the first question, which says Tokunbo Fasua. This is coming from Olise Buka Obio. I said, Tokunbo Fasua, please, 3 of you should find a way to work together. You, Kingsley Moghalu, and other stronger people. Please, sir, I beg you. Fela is a good man, but please don't bank on him. Okay, I don't know. I'm not trying to demonize anybody here. So it's not a question. I'm sorry. Let me look for another question. I want participants on the live show to ask questions. Bemi say, can you please ask him if any elders told them to present one aspirant out of them? There are so many questions, but I want you to answer that first. Can you please answer if any elders told them at Pact to present one aspirant out of them?
Well, I can't remember. Look, so many people are asking, but majority of those who asked for this quick thing, who wanted to know, of course, a lot of these things are driven by social media. People on WhatsApp, on Facebook, on Insta wanted to know who. Look, we can't solve a problem that's taken ages to culminate. That the first time that Nigerian young people are stepping out and saying, we don't care about zoning, we don't care about religion, race, tribe, we don't care. That what we care about now is that we've got the ideas to take Nigeria out of a morass, and people are stepping. The first time we are getting this kind of thing, you don't rush such a thing. And I personally told these guys that were driving the PACT thing, Matthias Sadu and Dr. Yusuf Ikubese, that look rush this thing. Of course, they took a vote, and some of the other guys, including Fela and Co, Elishama, there's a lady called God's Time and all of that. Some of them, some guy called, they think now. including the guy called what's his name now? Yeah, what's his name? Victor. They voted. They wanted it now. Why would you want it so quickly? Why are we rushing to? What are we talking about? You have to allow people to even express themselves. But as you noted, that there was a clause there that said that look, you can actually can leave if you wanted, and all. Of course, people exercise that clause. Look, the point is, number one, go and it was my irreducible minimum was people should go and get their party nomination because with your party. Even I, as a chairman of a party, I needed to go and get clarification party for whatever I was going to agree there. If there was going to be an agreement, I needed to go back to my party and say, guys, this is what's going on. There's another candidate and another aspirant on my party platform. And whatever I was doing on Pact was not binding on him. I cannot, if I went on Pact and even like I cannot go and tell the guy that's competing with me as an aspirant that, okay, oh boy, you have to drop out. Why? He would ask you why. Why do I have to drop out? Look at that. So look, we and that's the thing. Those are the things that we didn't iron out to say what happens to our party platforms. The decision we're taking it, how does it become binding? Do the party chairmen of those who are not chairmen, did they buy into this pact something? How can you do things blind? You know what I mean? And it begins to tell you a picture of that. Unfortunately, we have set ourselves up for mockery from the older people. They say, look at you guys, you can't even organize little things, then you want to come and run Nigeria. What stopped us from being patient to say, okay, fine, let us take a bit more time and agree and actually set this thing properly on people.
Some other comments are actually coming in, and I'll let you see some of them. It may also interest you, right? Somebody is saying that, he said, I think, what's the name again? Okay, say, Bam Joshi said, please Segun, help me tell Mr. Tokwe that he is amazing and he is also one to watch out for in the race. But that is just to let you know that you also have fans on here, right? Okay,
no,
good.
Thank you. Let me tell you, that Shura is a media person. And look, I like Shura's tempo. And everywhere I look, I see Shura, which is great. You understand what I'm saying? But, in terms of ideas, none of those guys can match me. And that's the truth, really. Even Kingsley, in terms of ideas, in terms of let's on the ground, economics, and let's run. But look, there's an end game coming. You understand? I tell people the terrain is going to be very different come January. There's an end game coming, and there are surprises that are coming. But for me, have one thing and one ambition, all right, and one message that God has sent me to deliver. I'm in that balance. I'm not, I'm not a prophet or whatever. I have a message, and that message must be delivered. And that's the message that, look, this country must be run on facts and figures. We must bring in the sense of urgency. We must bust the myths that have been holding us down. We must actually think in terms of, physically in this country. This country's budget for next year must be at least 2 billion, no matter who is there. We must start to think differently and take people out of poverty in this country. Enough already. That's me. So however long it takes me to get into that public space, looking for all the resources I can get to get into that public space and actually get this message out in the open and let people know this should be about ideas. It's not about personalities. We're running for big Nigeria. We're not running for,
Mr. Fasua, okay, good.
Ideas, yeah. So basically, that's it.
Are you still there, sir?
I'm here.
We lost connection with you, and I was checking if you're still there. Please continue.
Yeah. I said, looking, I think should be about ideas. Let's not get it twisted at all. It should certainly be about the ideas you are bringing in. Look, I represent a force that's going to torpedo Nigeria out of its current state of morass. Right? We're going to be wonderful ideas, change the life of every Nigerian they may be, including those who are forgotten. Right? And for however long it takes me media attention and every other attention, or which I need to get there, I'll try. And look, I so much value to that space. And so I thank the guy me and probably has fast followed me. I churn out a lot of these ideas. I'm the only that has put all my ideas out there. I've got a manifesto. It's a 28-page document which I've thrown out there. And for those who can get it.
Mr. Fasua, I need you to respond to some things here. Some people are already bringing in more comments here, and one person says, Mr. Tope Fasua, are you also saying Shore can't match you in terms of idea?
Shore can't.
And then another person, which is Tope one, says, Segun, can you ask Mr. Tope, when he is talking, those two parties who messed Nigeria to court? Cause that I don't understand. All right. Okay. Let's take to okay.
I understand what the person
Olise Buka I say,
yeah.
Mr. Tope Fasua, is supports you too. I'm watching for you. Okay, let me go back to the first question. Let's stick to that. Who said, Mr. Tope Fasua, are you also saying that? Let me scroll to that because more comments are coming in. He said, are you saying you can match Showore in terms of idea? I need you to respond to that quickly.
I have more ideas than Shore. Listen, you know what? Shore is good. Shore is fantastic. In an article, he said we went to a page in premium. Shore, sometimes people think that Shore is crazy, lock up, but Shore is actually betting it to 20 years of how Nigeria can move forward. Fantastic. But Shore cannot match me in terms of ideas. I can't match him in terms of activism, right? I can't match him in terms of, even in terms of investigation, crime investigation and all of that. But Shore can't match me in terms of idea. Listen, look, actually, I've written like 3 articles on sociology, and these are like, I'm not theory, I'm talking of real life stuff, applied stuff that I don't know. For me, I think it's a gift because it doesn't cost. 6 books. There's no angle, and the reason because I'm a columnist. Every week I write, and as I write, I get critiqued. I get better. So Shore can't match me in terms of economic ideas. It can't. It's not possible. But it's good. Perhaps I'll say Shore, Moghalu, myself. But I'm better than both of them. Even Kingsley cannot match me in terms of ideas. In terms of economy, he knows it. He knows it. That's the truth, But I respect him because the advantage of the international connection, having worked in United Nations and so on. I've been a homeboy, private sector, a startup person, starting up businesses, entrepreneurship, and what have you. That's what I've been. And the other person says, what was the second question? Let me quickly answer.
We need to leave that one and move on to the new one. There's always new question coming in. As we speak right now, we have over 200 people live, and most of them are asking questions. The most recent one is saying, there are many questions coming, and I want to narrow to one. Let me pick one that I saw most recently. It said Tope Fasua is more of the elitists and can't represent the general populace. Tope Fasua is not a match to Shore. Are you elitist in your approach, sir?
Well, for those who know, elitist in what manner? I mean, all of us, and I suffered growing up. It's not easy, I'm still a struggling man. I don't see who I can represent. However, hey, maybe if you're talking about activism and all of that, maybe Shore has done a lot more in the past, but that doesn't mean I can match him. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not elitist in any manner. I mean, we speak the same language. That's not a big deal, So I agree to what that person has said, really. So I mean, I think it's even yet to come. As time wears on, you see the streets, doing whatever we need to do. I've never actually rubbed shoulder with any of these elitist people. I've never been in government before. I've been struggling. I create businesses. I struggle to get them going, but even. And for that person who said, yes, we are actually instituting a case against APC PDP. We're asking them to license. We don't know how far that case will go. our party is working on that. We think to do that in order to change the rhetoric on the street away from all of these things about the campaign view.
It's getting crazy, and if we don't end it at some point, we will not leave here tonight because we have other things to discuss. Somebody is saying okay, someone say, Oga, you can't fight these thieves, these old cabals, you don't know them. Shore knows them. And I think that's the point to where you said,
a president, listen now, you understand, a president is not meant to be fighting the thieves that he knows. It's just like Buhari now. Buhari is pursuing corrupt people up and down. And I said that, look, if you are the so-called corrupt people in Nigeria, they are corrupt. Can you take down your volume? The volume of the background. Take it out. Aha. So Buhari is pursuing corrupt people everywhere. You understand? Because that's all he knows. Oh, people are corrupt and want to chase them and all of that. Corrupt people are people who suffer certain inferiority complex, myopia. That's why you steal from your country. But those who also chase them and make an entry out of chasing them and think that the economy is only about corruption, you know, are also qualifying from that same lack of imagination. That is Buhari's problem. Buhari must be careful not to go down that route. Yes, he knows about these guys, but look, that's the work for EFCC. That's not the president. The president should be thinking of growing the economy. Somebody also asked me, how do you grow the GDP? I'm proposing that the GDP should be growing at 15%, double digits. And there's a lot to do in that regard. There are a lot of jobs, even in the sector, that can be created. Look at the environmental sector, put a lot of unskilled labor into that and pay them money, you know, and reorder the way government spends. And, you know, unleash a lot of value in different sectors of this economy and get them going. You know, 15-20% growth is what we should be doing because we're developing. We're not, the United States is growing at 4.1% this year. So we have no growing at 1.9 or 1.5%. Can you imagine? You're growing at 1.5%, your population is at 3%. That means you are dead, you know? So we should be growing at minimum.
All right, thank you very much. If we decide to continue, we're not going to end because so many comments come in.
Why do you do your own show in the middle of the night? Because
because I go also during the daytime, and when I get back, I do my show.
Segun, everybody hustles, man. You know?
So you have to see, and most of the people that are always coming on at this time are Broadians, so to say. So this is the best time for most of them. Okay. So I'm actually thinking of making it 2 times a day. We'll do one during the daytime,
yes,
and then we do another one at a time like this, and we'll see how we can engage people at both times.
Tell some of those show mafias that I will convert them to follow me very soon. They will join us. They will leave AAC and join us.
They are listening to you. Thank you very much, Mr.
I'm looking for that trouble.
Thank you very much. We hope that we call you another time and then you answer us. Very soon, actually, one of the things we are proposing is that we want to organize a debate among all new generation presidential aspirants. And then we will call all of you to come and debate before all of this who are following you, following Durotoye, following Moghalu, following Shore. We want to bring these people together, all of you together, and debate, and let us see what happens from there. At least by that time, you will be able to present your idea. Shore will be able to present his ideas, and then you can debate, right?
Nice one. All right. Then.
We'll work it out. I will do it. I'll work it out.
You should do it. Yeah, I know you. Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining me on the show tonight. And then I'll see you again. Still stay on the show. Other things are coming up. All right. And that's it, everybody. Mr. Tokunbo Fasua tonight joining me live on the show. I tried to reach Eunice Atuejide to also join me tonight, but although I called her late, she didn't pick up. I guess she was busy at the time I was calling, but I'll get her to come on this show also, because we have to bring everybody to come and talk. It's not just supporting one candidate against the other. Thank you, everybody, for all these comments that are coming. But before I move on to the next thing, talking about Fela Durotoye. There's rumor today that it's not rumor actually, but it's just that it has not been made official because they want to try to do some things to officialize it or formalize it. Mr. Fela Durotoye, after emerging the PACT Pact consensus candidates, they are now deciding to make Durotoye win the primary. You know, the result, like I predicted yesterday, the result of the Pact would influence Durotoye, would influence the primaries at the ANN. So the news coming out today is that Mr. Durotoye may therefore become, ANN is almost deciding to therefore adopt Durotoye as the ANN flag bearer. That will be ratified as we expect in matter of, I put a call through to Mr. Durotoye. He was too busy. He didn't answer. But I called members of his camp and they are saying it's not official yet. But the feeling I have is that definitely it would be adopted as flag bearer. If hijack doesn't happen again, this time in ANN, because ANN is becoming, a funny party. And the funny things happening in his party are beginning to me to look like some kind of stunt, if you accept it. But that stunt again may happen again, and then something funny will happen again, and then another thing will happen again. So it's all a game. Politics is a game after all. So don't get carried away. Well, last night we were discussing about possibility of organizing debate among presidential aspirants, the young generation, new generation presidential aspirants, and some of you suggested that we were going to support if we want to organize it. Well, I went to University of Lagos today, but before I discuss with you, or before we start talking about the possibility of having a debate on the campus of University of Lagos based on the findings I made on the campus, because I know some professors too, I know doctors, I know lecturers. I finished from University of Lagos too. So, but before I tell you what happened there, I also participated in a debate activity. I took my crew there to go and see a debate about restructuring. We had so much clip from it, but I'll just show one piece about how students are discussing or debating restructuring. I'll just show one clip. I'm not going to be able to show all of it. And I'm sorry, University of Lagos students who are joining us on the live show tonight. Most of you are expecting to see the full clip, but I'm sorry I'm not going to be able to show the full clip because tonight we have so many things to discuss, or we have discussed in a length of time, but we still want to have something out of what happened today showcased. So this is a prototype of debates that we want to be happening, that we want to be showcasing, and not shaku, so that Nigeria can get better, right? So see this, everybody.
So many years ago, a national solution for all of the country, not for the benefit world, and look at what Socrates once said, and let us identify ourselves how we begin on a meaningful discussion. My fellow Nigerians, I am the governor for every government, but because restructuring is an ambiguous term, it has been subject to different interpretations along sectional lines among its governments. And here today, if opposition proposition and restructuring is the answer to the Nigerian solution. First of all, what is the national question? I think the national question is not just create a new Nigeria, but a Nigeria that works for you and me. A Nigeria that no longer be referred to as a mere geographic expression. When we talk of restructuring our base, there's not really a Nigeria that's getting our popularity, but if you stand apart and deal with its own issues. The problem of in one federal system is a national government that is not enough to keep the components together, but not to talk as a towards the unity system. He who does not believe from the past is bound to repeat his mistake. So, upon the proposition that restructuring is regionalism, surely you can see this out of the question. Will the people of the States agree to go and buy land in Ibadan? Will Lagos State agree to become part of the Southwest again? Will the people belt agree to collapse the structure and become survivors to Nigeria again? It is therefore inconceivable that the state has presently constituted would not willingly give up their freedom and again subordinate themselves to the global regional capital. My fellow Nigerians, restructuring is not the answer because it doesn't address the vital question of how we collectively progress as a nation. Some say they want to succeed, some say they want to control their
I'm sorry, the audio is a bit very unclear, and as a result we will not be able to continue to play it. Even I am not enjoying it, but it was a very robust debate talking about the error in the recording was that we didn't tap, my crew did not tap the audio directly from the audio mixer, and as a result we were subject to, depending on the internal microphone on the cameras, to take the echoing sound that was being produced by the poor sound system in the Afe Babalola Hall of University of Lagos campus. I'm so sorry about that, but I just needed to give you clue into what we can be achieving together. Well, having said what we have said, yeah, the sound is not good, I know. All of you are commenting. Everybody has something to say. Well, what we have been able to do tonight is to rule out the information that, number one, Mr. Durotoye may become the flag bearer of ENN as a result of his emergence at the Pact arrangement. And then number two is that Mr. Kingsley Moghalu has decided to proceed with his own ambition regardless. Although, what do we feel, therefore, that's the question for tonight. What do you feel about Professor Kingsley Moghalu, despite signing that he was going to, all of them were going to be subject to the outcome of the presidential consensus candidates from the Pact. And then after it turned out that it was not him, he then decided to renege and move on. This is good for Fela because I don't need opinion of anybody. Me, I personally know that Fela Durotoye, if he didn't emerge, he will leave it and he will start supporting, and he will convert all his followers to start following or to start supporting whoever emerged the consensus. But would we be able now to say the same thing of Professor Kingsley Moghalu? And then what a lot of people are saying, according to comments I read today, is that if Professor Kingsley Moghalu cannot honor simple agreements within a small circle of people, if he begins to lead 180 million Nigerians, would it be different? Those are some of the questions or comments I've read today on the internet before coming online. And I don't know what you people think about it. Other aspirants like Mr. Fasua that joined me on the live show today, since he wasn't comfortable with the process, already pulled out. Since Professor Moghalu was also knew he was not going to be comfortable if the outcome was against him, why did he wait till the end? That is my question. And I know there are so many Professor Moghalu supporters on my show who are always coming in, just like there are so many Showore supporters too who are always on my show. Like I told you, I don't have anybody I'm supporting as I speak with you right now. My only interest is to see how we can. But I can tell you, based on the quality of their town hall engagements and their speeches and their manifestos, I can identify. That is why the ones I discuss are those that I have listened to, and I know that the quality of their presentations can do something for Nigeria. I am convinced about most of them. That's why I'm not really, really given to any. I'm just like, this one is doing this, it's tap, this one, he did tap now, he did walk, he did talk sense. I will see another one, I will say, this one, they talk sense. I will see another one, I will say, okay, let us bring them all forward. Let us ask Nigerians, how has this person convinced you that they can deliver? All right? But given the events that we have seen, even in the earliest part of the game already, Professor Kingsley Moghalu, as much as many people seem to respect him, signed to something. If you could not predict simple thing within a small circle, that this is what is likely to turn out and pull out at the early stage, or decide that, okay, I'm going to honor my words. If it doesn't turn in my favor or turns against me, I'm just going to simply pull out. If Professor Moghalu could not do that, as simple as it looks in a small circle of people, people are saying, how then can we trust him with a country of 180 million people? What's your own opinion? Did Professor Kingsley Moghalu disappoint you by deciding to continue regardless, or do you support him continuing regardless against his own words that he gave at the Pact? That is what I want us to discuss briefly tonight, and then we'll call it a day until tomorrow. Thank you so much. So let's start reading comments here. Okay, let's start reading comments. Somebody saying you need to bring those guys on this show so we know why he disagreed on Pact. Which guys? You mean Showore and Moghalu? Showore was never part of Pact. Moghalu was part of it, and then he didn't, you know. Okay. Christian Udeme say, please let me tell Mr. Tokunbo Fasua, no offense to him. It is not the billions of ideas that he thinks he has that will eat or live on. It is the few ideas that is relevant to our interests that we want. Okay, let me move on to another question. Enuma man say, Moghalu is the best man with too much experience saving Nigeria during financial crisis. Well, thank you so much for that comment. Vanesto Amos 33 say, before I forget, please, you talk to Mega Comrade, the lion and the tiger of the poor masses, lives in UK. He's very angry with Showore now that he is a scam. I learned of the Mega Comrade and Showore saga, and I am aware that as of the last time I heard of the update about them, Showore had not as of the time, I think 2 days ago now, Showore had not reached back to Mega Comrade. Mega Comrade is also not happy that Showore treated him like just somebody in the crowd. That is my own interpretation of what is happening between Showore and Mega Comrade. Stephen Cranswick, Fela can't go far. Why do you think so? If you could go far within the small circle, he's already rising through the ranks. That means Fela Durotoye somehow knows politics. The rest of them too know politics by pulling out at the early stage, by knowing that the sentiment of few people that have organized it may superimpose. All right. Martins Abeke say is not straightforward and can't leave Nigeria. He has started playing games without getting into Aso, referring to Moghalu. Well, that's your opinion. Thank you for bringing your input. Bangjosh say Professor Kingsley didn't save Nigeria from the financial crash. Get your facts right. His boss, Sanusi Lamido Sanusi, was the brain of it all, and it was the bailout using taxpayers' fund and our Commonwealth. We are replying or responding to somebody who commented earlier that Professor Moghalu saved Nigeria from financial crisis. Thank you for your views. Rufai Abdul Hafiz says Showore all the way. Oh, you this Showore, Moghalu and Durotoye people. Let us discuss idea now, eh? Because I'm not INEC and I'm not counting your votes here. The day for poll is coming. Don't worry, we'll do the poll online. Temitokwe say you need to bring these guys onto this show so we know why he disagreed on Pact. I'll try bring Showore. I'll try. I'll just try. If he agrees to come, it's fine. If he doesn't, well, it's also good. But I will just try. All right. I know that if I chat Showore up here, he responds one time. All right. I'll try. I'll try to talk to Showore to come on this show. Temitokwe, okay. Amos 33 Vanesto said, please, the debate is too early. Let's wait a while. Yes. One of the feedback I want to give you from Unilag today is that those of you that are saying whatever it's going to cost us to make the debate happen, I should let you know today. Well, the news is that Unilag is currently going into examination season, and they said that in the next 1 week, all activities are going to be, as far as student activities are concerned, are going to be placed on hold. On hold in the sense that there are two options to organizing this kind of show. The first option is that you are an external organizer and you bring a show, you pay full amount for the hall, which is around 400 or 4 something thousand naira, 400 something thousand, if not exactly 500,000. But that if you want to partner with student body, let's say a departmental association, they are going to cut the price to almost half, in the sense that they will see it as their students program, their own students program, that therefore the students have to be subsidized, and that the students will only pay half. So we will just pay the half, partnering with the Students Departmental Association, and then we will be able to have the program. So, but now that the students are going into exams, therefore there is a circular. In fact, as of today, a circular has been sent out that student program have been suspended so that students can focus on exam, and so until after exams we may not be able to organize in collaboration with students. But my own idea is we should organize with students. The essence of organizing with students is so that they are not in examination mode, so that all of them can attend. The idea of even taking the program to campus in the first place is so that students can largely participate. But if the students are not participating, what then is the essence of paying so much money and we are not getting students to attend? So let's wait for them to resume after exams in the next semester, and then we'll be able to do it collaboratively and make it big. And even by that time, we would have known who and who is still in the race, because by now primaries have not even held. So let's wait until primaries hold, and then we'll be able to organize it in collaboration with students, and then we'll be able to make it big. By then we'll have narrowed down to who is remaining in the race. At least by then we would have known outcome of party primaries. That's my own thought. But if you think otherwise, bring your suggestion on and let's see how we work it. Somebody suggested earlier to me on WhatsApp chat today that we can organize it now before the students begin their exams, and still organize another one after resumption, sometime in December or January. But let me know what you think. Okay? The guy, somebody is saying something. Somebody, Temitoke said, that's not much though. You mean the price for taking the all? Yeah, if you guys can rally around, if you want to do it, well, I don't have money, but I have the wherewithal to packaging the program. If you want to sponsor the all, sponsor the hall. If you want to sponsor that logistics, sponsor that logistics. Let's partner, let's do it together. But whatever you think we can achieve, let's achieve it. All right? Many comments tonight. 7 people paid by Saraki should not derail the hope coming to Nigeria. Kingsley made the right move. Really? Where's the information coming from? Some are saying PDP sponsored, some are saying APC sponsored, some are saying Kingsley Moghalu and the ANN, planned it. Which one is the right information here? But Pact has made their decision. I only wish that they all agree to the result. The Eden Me say Professor Kingsley did not portray the picture of a good leader with this. Please, can you bring them here so we can hear directly from them? I'll try reach out to Kingsley Moghalu himself to talk to us on this show. Like, I'm also going to make efforts in the next show, that is tomorrow evening, to bring Showore on the show. Kingsley has another agenda. That's Stephen Kran saying so, not me. Collins Ekwasi say no. We are talking about Moghalu tonight, not Showore, please. We'll talk about Showore in due course when his own time comes, all right? Mwachuku Michael Epuluchi said Moghalu gave reasons. Let's look at the reasons. One of the reasons he gave is that that decision did not represent the opinion of many Nigerians, that it was too close within minority set or a small group of people, as if he did not know before joining it and signing the pact in the pact. All right. Okay. The followers of Bernie Sanders did not come out to vote for Hillary Clinton, and that resulted to a loss. Forget the Moghalu supporters will not support Fela. That is according to Bosun Adebanjo. Stephen Kran said Kingsley work with CBN. Are they not thieves in this tenure? What does he do? Nothing. I don't know what you mean. Billy Andrew say, please your phone number. I'll let you know my phone number by the end of the show. I released it yesterday. I don't want to type it because I'll be bugged by too many calls. But I'll let you okay, let me give you the number now. Okay, but I'm not going to type it. So catch it. 080 60 60 61 66. Again, 080 60 60 61 66. And because I'm sure that you are calling outside of Nigeria, just add the country code +234. Okay. anyone that said the guy is snitch, if he was the one that won the consensus, would he have behaved this way? That guy is selfish and cannot be trusted. Your opinion there. Let me look for other. Okay, Adenuga show you, but say, why can Pact does not that without each aspirant be their party's candidate? This is nonsense. Okay, you mean they should have waited for everybody to have emerged candidates of their respective flag bearers of their respective parties before they now come to do Pact? Yes, that is the opinion of most of us too. All right. Anyone that said, I watched everything and I heard the speech he gave and none of it was referring to supporting anyone that would emerge. The body language proved to me, no, they had a bond they signed in the Pact before the consensus was decided. They had a bond they all signed that we are going to accept this result, and whoever emerges the consensus candidates, we are going to tell all our own supporters to start supporting. We are going to convert our supporters to supporters of that consensus aspirant. That is what they signed to, not the speech now that they came out on it, but they signed. One thing I want to try to do on this show is to get copy from Pact of what they signed, and we display it here. Should we do it? I'll pursue that. All right. Chika Aguero says, oh, no, I'm not going to read that again. All right. All of you Showore people, I hope you have PVC. I'm seeing Showore comment here. I hope you all have PVC, Sha. Aha. And you are going to come home to vote. Okay. Aha. But let's just say, you mean now Mega and Showore are broadcasting now? They are, well, Mega and Showore will resolve their issues. It's between them, sorry. Gbemi say, I will appreciate the aspirants to choose who can face the cabals and others can support him, or to make, well, their interests, forget it. And that is one of the disadvantages of politics, especially democracy. It's usually not about merit. It's usually about who appeals more to sentiment. So that is why that is the problem I have with most of these aspects, especially those of you that are supporting Showore or Moghalu. Confronting the system does not exactly, you are only going to win new people over, and the people you are winning over are those people that are tired of the system. But if you want to cut into the crowd of those that are currently supporting the system, the sentiment or emotion, some people, do you know, I have gone into the street to ask people questions. And I'm going to start playing videos here very soon of what they are saying as feedback. Most people love Showore because he's brave. But ask them if they will vote Showore, they will say no. Why? Because they say he's even too brave. They love him for being brave, but they believe he's too brave and it will be too arbitrary if he becomes president. So some people are beefing him. Let me use the word beef. They are beefing him because he's too bold. And he's too daring, he's too confrontational. Whereas, most of you will come online and say that is what you need. Those that are actually voting are saying he's too confrontational. You are saying you love the fact that he's confronting. So we need to look at this. How can we help your candidates to win this election? Because it's not about having the merits in a democracy. It's about appealing to the majority. I don't know how we are going to do it, right? Anyone that say, why are you jumping some real good comments here? Sorry, the comments, if I see them, point my attention, please write it again if I jumped it. It's because many comments are coming and I want to rush and see as many as I can take. And close it. I want to try and close in another 5 minutes, please, everybody. All right. God bless me and you. God bless Nigeria. All our success. Thank you so much. God bless all of us. Chijoke Agbo, I do not understand what's going on with Mega and Showore because they're meeting now, but please explain what their problem is. Since they are meeting, they will explain it. They will resolve it and explain to you. I am not, I was not part of their meeting. I was not part of how they met or how their decision is. They will meet, they will reconcile it and let you know. And I will report the outcome of it. I'm not in that film. Let me put it that way. All right. Itoya said the Pact of group is too much in a hurry. Yes, that's what Fasua said on the show when I brought him in tonight. He said it was too much of a hurry process and that it was going to be too sentimental in approach and outcome. And that's why most of them already pulled out that if you want these things to happen just in a hurry, did the problem of Nigeria happen in a hurry? How will you solve it in such a hurry? It's a process. So you're right. Anyone that said Tokpa is very intelligent and it would be very good if he would work with Showore, leaving out Moghalu because he just messed up and this mess will take a while to get over. Well, Onisabek said too much drama everywhere. Well, too many drama. That's what politics is about. Politics is called out for drama, man. The EDM said the action cannot be governed by confrontations and the likes. We need people with substance. Ozue Melem Oguledo say Pact should have involved the masses. Yeah, and exactly that's what these people that pulled out of Pact are saying. Eddie Law said you joined my comment. What's the comment again, please? And I'll read it and I'll close for tonight. What's your comment again? You say you skip my. You are still repeating the same thing. Saying I skipped your comment. What's the comment again, please? I'll read it. Repeat it, please. That comment is what I'm waiting for now, and I want to close for tonight and till next night. Maxwell Jestone say any Nigerian that lives outside Nigeria will surely support Mr. Showore. All of you are Brodians. Are you coming home to vote? We are talking about getting those that are on ground to vote. Even while some of you are coming home to vote. You are talking about Brodians. Brodians. Continue abroading. I'm just joking, right? Okay. So the idiom is Eddie, repeat your comment. Oh, yes, Eddie, repeat your comment so that we can close until tomorrow. Sean says Showore is the best. Oh, okay. Anyone that say good work, bro, sleep tight. Yeah, I'm gonna sleep now. Once I read that comment that person said I skipped. But so Adebanjo say if the people are complaining that Showore is too brave and that they won't vote for him, good luck to them. The sufferhead continues. Eddie said if they refuse to come together, they should forget 2019. I'm a Nigerian in diaspora. I want my country, Africa, to move forward. Country and Africa to move forward. The ED say, what's the subject for tomorrow, please? I'll announce it before coming online, please, tomorrow. Because events are happening every day. So I can't exactly overrule what will happen tomorrow. All right? Even though I have something in mind I want to discuss tomorrow already. Lord Lincoln says, Segun, what is your stand on this matter? My stand on which matter? On Moghalu. What people have to say is what matters, not me, right? Adabian says Showore is the next Nigerian president. Well, thank you for your input. Olisebekwe Obioha say if can vote better convince, if better votes convince at least 10 people. Anyone that say I will be coming home to vote. God bless you. Anyone that hey, those are the things we are talking about. Not just commenting and saying Moghalu all the way, Showore all the way, Durotoye all the way. Are you people coming home to vote your candidates? That's my input. That's my grouse. All right. All right, anyone that will be coming on to vote, thank you so much. Sean, you can't pull out after the Pact picks a candidate, Durotoye. Rodarute, our family in Nigeria will vote. Kayo Midday. Valentino said, the idiom is, pardon me, it's my first time here. What's the start-up time? We start 9:30 p.m. Nigerian time, all right? 9:30 p.m. Nigerian time we start, and it's funny, it's already 11 p.m. and we haven't stopped. You people are awesome, you're making me, you are the tonic. You are the tonic behind my continuing this show, right? Even though I don't have money. And you're looking at me like this, but at least you are encouraging me to do this. Well done, everybody. Thank you. So you are my tonic, all of you, and I must say, Itoya say, please, Mr. Man, keep your idea. Who is saying that? Who are you referring to there? Yes, 100 peoples will represent my vote in Nigeria. Showore confident, proactive, and is determined. Can you hear me now? Okay, let's manage this. I guess my battery ran down. I'm going to buy another battery, Durotoye battery tomorrow. The battery of my audio device ran down, so I'm depending on the internal mic of the camera now. Manage it till we end the show tonight. I'm running off shortly now. Showe doesn't play the gallery just because he wants these people to use so many comments. You know what? Let's do this. Let's do this. Everybody, keep your comments coming. I'm gonna, once this video publishes, I'll come back to read more comments, and then we'll decide together what we want to do next. Okay? And then we can do something together tomorrow again. You are saying you can hear me. Thank you so much, Maxwell. Thank you all for coming, aiding me. Matisa Beke, Olisabeko Obioha. Thank you all of you for coming on tonight. Tomorrow we'll see you again. Freddie Worldwide Fred says, Segun, how far? Your Kingsley no one drop. Oh. Well, to every Nigerian, you should raise the answer. Kingsley no one drop. Yeah, and that is exactly what we have been discussing. A lot of people are disappointed in that decision. Well, Professor seems not to be grounded in politics, and that's what I see here. So everybody, I'm going to see you tomorrow. Sean said, I would like to donate to you to help out. Thank you all of you. Thank you all of you. Thank you all of you. Yes, if you want to support, well, it's good. But I'm not desperate for, I'm a poor man and I don't mind. I'm not desperate for money, but if you want to support, thank you so much. I don't mind. I don't mind your little support, cover to keep things running. I want to go to the creeks. I want to go and talk to people inside the creeks. I want to bring exclusive footage of what people are talking about, young aspirants, and I'm not talking about Lagos people. Let's enter creeks and talk to people. Let's take this message down to them and bring them online too. All right. If you want to support, thank you so much. I'll appreciate it. But as far as my little resource can take me, I'll do my best on my own. But if you want to support, you're welcome. So let's see tomorrow again, and take this conversation further. And my name is Segun Olawoye, also known as Polo. Until I come your way again tomorrow, keep talking about the things that matter. God bless you.